On July 2nd, 2025, Pokimane tweeted, "Believe victims," and this might have been one of the most regretful tweets of her career. It was a provocative thing to say, but what has made the statement so controversial is the company she keeps. Here is her friend Nina Lynn's response to being caught essaying a man on camera.
But for him to walk around and say all that crazy shit, you never think about what Saeed's thinking too, though. Like, who wants to walk around being called that? That's embarrassing for him as a guy.
And more recently, her roommate, Elam, was under fire for allegedly being manipulative towards his ex-girlfriend, Captain Puffy.
This is, honestly guys, this is so upsetting because I'm not, like, I'm reading some of these comments and shit. It's just so unfair.
This has led many people to conclude that Pokimane's "believe victims" mantra was performative and doesn't apply when one of her own friends may be the perpetrator. But even from the start, people were skeptical when this "believe victims" tweet went out. One reply said, "Pokimane, I love you and I agree, but I can't forget the way you made fun of Amber Heard during the trial. It was really disappointing. Please address this." Pokimane responded with, "I completely understand. I regret how I restreamed the trial because any jokes are at the expense of how victims can be perceived. I apologize for that and took down those videos a long time ago." Asmongold responded to this exchange and argued that Pokimane wasn't genuinely sympathetic towards Amber Heard, but was just siding with her now because the public mood had shifted.
The reason why Pokimane was laughing at Amber Heard, the most important reason, is because it was the popular thing to do. It's not surprising because she always tries to have like the most politically correct, sanitized, inauthentic opinion possible. So I think this is just another example of that. Anyway.
Commentator and streamer Tectone came to a similar conclusion.
Because these people don't believe anything it is that they're saying. They don't. They will go live and they will say the exact thing that the public wants to hear.
But what made Pokimane's "believe victims" statement particularly shallow was some of the shocking behavior from her friend Nina Lynn. In May 2024, Nina Lynn and Zoe Spencer wanted to do a funny video where they were twerking in front of Silky's cameraman assistant, Saeed. And you can clearly see from the footage that Saeed is uncomfortable with them doing this.
Yes, he is. You didn't say nothing. He likes it. Oh, no. I don't think he wants to. Yeah, right there. Stay right there.
Then they ended up pulling Saeed into another room and taking his clothes off, or attempting to.
Saeed! No!
Now they got it.
Take all of this off. Take it off. Hey, yo, cut the cameras, cut the cameras. Yo, cut the cameras, bro. Don't do your... Look at my Louis Vuitton store. Hold on. No outside clothes on the bed. Hold on. What's going on?
You can't just forcibly take it out.
Let me get that bag. Let me get that bag. This is a nice bag. Hold on, this is a nice bag.
Yo!
How much this cost? Turn around. No. Start with the side.
Yo. What? Yo,
I need this. I needed this. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Zoe, he's not consenting. Huh? He's not consenting.
And Zoe Spencer, to her credit, did make an apology in May of 2025.
I definitely crossed the line with everything. I was just trying to be funny and I was just trying to make a moment for the stream. And I see that what I did came off all wrong and it's on me. I take full accountability for that. I just want to say, Saeed, and to anybody out there that I made feel uncomfortable, I'm genuinely sorry.
But for Nina Lynn, this looked like a pattern of behavior. In August 2025, she gave this massage to the streamer Disguised Toast.
Oh. Toast, are you ready, Emily? You ready?
Yeah, go ahead, Nina.
All right.
Okay, Fred.
It's actually not that bad.
I know. Concentrating on the button.
Okay, girl.
No, Nina. Oh my. Wow, you have the best masseuse, Toast.
That was good.
Wow, she is so bold.
My spine.
You love to see it.
All right.
So bold, so bold.
And on a stream with Pokimane, Nina described the type of man she was looking for.
Wait, you didn't really tell us about your type.
I am.
Yeah,
My type is the obeying type. I need obeying. I need you to listen. Not too much talking. Shut up when you need to. Mind your own business. Make sure my business is running good. If I need assistance in anything, you have to drop everything and help me. Your wallet is my wallet. My wallet is my wallet. Yeah, any girls you talk to better be your sister or your mom. Other than that, don't talk to them too much either. Mom, maybe yes, because, you know, that's mom. And then any of your brothers or homies that to check in with me. Because in order to find the secrets of their boyfriend, you go through them. So I have to have all their contacts.
To be fair to Pokimane, the incidents with Saeed and Disguised Toast went under the radar until Saeed decided to publicly share how uncomfortable he felt about it after some clip pages resurfaced it. He wrote, "When it originally happened, most people were attacking me, and I felt so uncomfortable talking about it that I only talked about it with people that I know." He also tweeted, "I've been vocal about the situation originally and nobody cared. It took me a lot to talk about it again, and for the third time has hurt me once again, where it will take me time to heal from it again. I've been invalidated by the other parties, which don't realize what he did. This prompted your rage to confront Nina about her behavior."
So what if he says, I feel like you did something wrong? No, so the whole Saeed thing, no one essay Saeed. That's why today I was actually looking for Saeed. I was going to talk to him, like, he definitely felt disrespected as a person. Me, I take accountability what I do. If you felt disrespected, I didn't know. So you got to let me know. If you did, I will always apologize. I mean, that's just normal people. But for him to walk around and say all that crazy you never think about what Saeed's thinking too, though. Like, who wants to walk around being called that? That's embarrassing for him as a guy.
And it was this response that drew more attention to the incident because it highlighted the attitudes towards male victims.
She treats it like it's no big deal, she did nothing wrong, rub some dirt in it, dweeb, get over it. That's how she handles it. But I imagine if it was two guys who did this exact same thing to a girl on stream, if it played out exactly the same, there would be universal condemnation across the board, including from Nina herself, I imagine, and rightfully so, because stand back, brave take coming in. Plug your ears if you're not ready for the spicy take. Assault is bad.
The clip with Disguised Toast also resurfaced, and Toast responded by saying, "This clip is going around with the recent convos, so I'll address it. I was trying to get a massage from the physical therapist when Nina, an IRL streamer I've never met, pushed aside the therapist and started grabbing at my behind while I was already laid on the table. I felt pressured to go along with it because 3 IRL streamer cameras pointed at my face and also being at a sponsored event. I did not want to escalate the situation. I was extremely uncomfortable the whole time. Definitely should have said something in the moment and regret not doing so, and honestly a little ashamed of myself for not speaking up, because I just know if I ever spoke about it again in the future, people will say, well, you should have stopped it then." Eventually, Nina apologized to Saeed, but after a lot of public pressure.
I'm old enough to own up to what I did wrong. And during the situation, I genuinely 100% thought it was a joke. I just thought he was laughing, so I'm like, oh, and we all just laughing and geeking. But yeah, I see. It is wrong. It is really, really wrong. And what we did was wrong. He clearly was uncomfortable with it, and he was very hurt by it. So that's all that we know.
Pokimane recognized that she was getting pushback about Nina and tweeted, "I've gotten a lot of comments asking me to speak on recent news, and I didn't tweet sooner because I felt the focus should be on victims and allegations. But it also feels wrong to not say anything. SA and harassment should be taken seriously regardless of the gender of the perpetrator or victim. There's already so much shame associated with speaking out on these experiences, when in reality the shame should lie with the abuser. If I'm ever slow to comment on things like this, it's because these situations bring up a lot of emotions from my own past traumas, which I don't know if I'll share publicly. I hope this makes my stance clear." So some people felt sympathetic towards this response, but one of the top comments below it read, "Way to make it about yourself. My God." But what has really undermined the sincerity of Pokimane's Believe Victims tweet is the person who she became roommates with in early 2025.
It's time. Do you hear that unlock? That's my apartment unlocking. You're a little late, but I'll forgive it. Okay, guys. Roomie reveal. Okay, roomie reveal.
Hi! What up?
Her roommate is the British streamer Ellum. Because Pokimane can easily afford to live on her own, and does, it was immediately assumed that they were dating. Being somebody's quote roommate has also been a recurring theme in that side of the streamer world, and it usually meant that people were dating as well. However, Pokimane tweeted, "Please stop assuming I'm dating someone just because we interact. I'm happily single, and it can be disrespectful to the guys because y'all don't always know their relationship status." On a TikTok video together, she explained her living situation.
Lore drop, I have to introduce you to a reoccurring character in my life. This is Ellum. He's British. Ellum talk.
Hello.
He's tall.
I'm tall. Wait.
You look so small. Shut up. My part-time roommate. Now, what does that mean? He lived in the UK, then he wanted to move to LA, but he needed a roommate. Please stop hiding behind me. He needed a roommate, so I rent the second room in his apartment. But I have my own apartment that I stay there most of the time.
So based on this information, it seems that Pokimane is paying for half of the rent and only staying there some of the time. Ellum is known for being associated with the Sidemen in the UK and also had a long-term relationship with the Minecraft streamer Captain Puffy. However, there had been a lot of speculation on why this relationship ended. So on that TikTok video you just watched, Pokimane received a lot of pushback for associating with Ellum. The rumors online were that he cheated on Captain Puffy. Pokimane responded to this and wrote in the comments, "Hi guys, I've seen your comments and have talked to the people involved. I take this stuff seriously, but won't be discussing someone else's past relationship publicly. I appreciate y'all looking out for me." But this would not be where things ended. On December 17th, Captain Puffy tweeted a document which went into heavy detail about her relationship with Ellum. This is a 6-page document of him pretty much just being what she describes as a bad boyfriend, but not doing anything criminal. First, she explained how Ellum essentially manipulated her into paying for them to live in an expensive London apartment. She wrote that, "Very early on, about 2 weeks into dating, Josh asked to move in together, saying his lease was ending soon even though he could have gone month to month. Around that time, Simon and Talia had just moved into a new apartment in London, and he made it clear he wanted to live near them. The apartment was far beyond what I had planned to spend. I was already financially supporting my entire household and family in New York, but I agreed as long as he paid a fair portion of the rent as I wanted to make him happy. At that time, he made significantly less money than me, so I never expected half, but he ended up paying nothing for the entirety of that lease." The biggest red flag was that Ellum was obsessed with his ex. Further down, she wrote, "When he came to New York to meet my family for the first time, instead of spending time with us, he stayed in my room almost the entire trip doing a subathon. During that visit, I wanted to surprise him by telling him I had secured the apartment and went to show my mom a YouTube video of the layout. Instead, I discovered in my YouTube watch history on my laptop that he had been rewatching videos of him and his ex on holiday, along with videos titled things like, 'What does it mean when your ex says it's too soon?' According to Captain Puffy, Ellum used her to pay rent, but also used her fame to build his own streaming career. On the second page, she wrote, 'He'd use me for YouTube videos without even asking me. I'd be mid-streaming myself, and then suddenly his cameraman would knock on the door saying that I'm filming a video for Josh, so I'd have to end my own stream. His entire YouTube channel almost became a couple's channel, and I received nothing for it.' The real moment of clarity for her came once the relationship was over. According to Puffy, when we broke up and he moved out of our final apartment, he left behind paperwork that showed his bank balance for over a year prior. It showed a very significant amount of money saved, more than enough to have contributed the entire time if he wanted to. When I confronted him, his explanation was that he became obsessed with watching his bank balance grow, even while knowing I was hemorrhaging through my savings paying for both my family back in New York and our life in London. I initially dated Josh because many of our mutual creator friends vouched for him and believed he was a good guy who had been treated badly in his last relationship. Over time, the truth slowly revealed itself to all of us. I later discovered that this was a pattern of behavior that had been repeated in his previous relationships." And she summed up his behavior as, "This was not just cheating, it was emotional torment, manipulation, and intentional financial and career exploitation until there was nothing left for him to benefit." There was obviously two sides to every story, and this 7-page document didn't contain any text or evidence of some supposed misconduct, but Ellum did suggest on stream that this was not entirely made up.
I'm not gonna I'm not gonna in any way I'm not gonna invalidate or say that she's wrong for feeling any of these ways. And obviously it's the way she's taken some of my actions, and there's gonna be actions from the other way around as well, you know, and it's fine, you know, it's and it's fine. I'm not gonna invalidate how she feels. That's completely fine.
But Ellum didn't debunk any of these allegations. It could be the case that in the future he does shed more light on what happened, but what most people seem to be taking is Captain Puffy's side. The British streamer Lexi tweeted, "I watched Kara lose her spark over the course of this relationship. Seeing her finally feel safe enough to share her story after being scared to for so long makes me proud. Please give her all the love." And then she revealed just how expensive the apartment that Captain Puffy and Ellum were living in.
Sorry you feel that way. Oh, okay, yeah, Kara's giving me the green light. This apartment that they were living in, 10K a month. 10K a month. Matt, next time when I say I'm not going to say something, probably don't yap it in a chat. 10K a month, 6 months in advance. 10K a month, 6 months in advance. I have such a core memory of sitting in a taxi with Kara, her stressing because they were moving around Christmas. And wasn't he not even in the country or something? Something was going on. 60K. How much did he pay for?
Obviously, if this is all 100% true, then the person who deserves the most blame is Ellum. But Captain Puffy also said something about Pokimane that is pretty revealing.
But because she got a lot of negative comments on the TikTok, she did reach out to me and ask me about the situation, what happened. And the reason why I'm saying this, by the way, is not to like throw Pokey under the bus in any way, shape, or form, but because she also made it publicly known in her TikTok that she had spoken to me. She put it as a TikTok comment that she's spoken to the parties involved. So I don't feel like I'm saying anything that like she hasn't already said herself. But she did reach out to me in October and ask me what had happened, basically, because apparently he said that he didn't cheat and whatever else that they discussed. I don't know. To which I sent her a really long message, basically kind of like almost surmising exactly what was said in the Google Doc, obviously more casually because I'm just speaking to her. But yeah, so I basically told her everything, and her response was obviously essentially that it was horrible what happened to me and how he was. Obviously, I don't know the standing of their friendship or what happened now.
But the standing of their friendship does not seem to have changed much. If you look at the background of the stream where Ellum is addressing the allegations, and where he was streaming from 8 months ago, it's clear that Ellum hasn't moved apartments. Pokimane hasn't streamed with Ellum since Captain Puffy told him about what happened, but you can see her talking about him in December, as if they're still good friends.
Ellum is such a normie. Okay. What does that mean?
Ellum is such a f***ing normie. It bores me. And
she said that like, that was such a like a Gretchen Wiener tone. Ellum is such a f***ing normie.
British. Disgusting.
All of this has led to speculation that Ellum is doing the exact same thing with Pokimane that he allegedly did to Captain Puffy and leeching off of her. Granted, Pokimane has made such exorbitant amounts of money that that's barely even possible. This viral clip has added further details about Ellum's living situation.
After Tina's party, you and Shoto cleaned the whole
we went crazy.
house.
I honestly enjoy it. So
yeah, I would too.
I genuinely enjoy it.
So this suggests that Pokimane is not splitting the rent with him, but paying for all of it. And because Pokimane was silent this whole time, it had been suggested that she doesn't believe all victims. This is what Mizkif had to say about the entire situation, somebody who was friends with these people at least at a certain point in time.
You know, honestly, as someone that was very close to Pokimane and defended her for years, this bothers me. Does this bother anyone else? Does this bother anyone else? Like, I defended her for years. I really did. But it bothers me that she's like, believe victims, and she says this stuff, but then like Captain Puffy and then talk about Ellum being whatever the but she still lives with them, still collapses them, still does everything. It's always like, it's just this virtue signaling that they all do. And it just drives me nuts. Like, it's just farming. It's like, believe victims, but then you're living with a guy that apparently cheated and was pretty. She needs to join Kick.
More recently, Pokimane has done a Mafia Christmas special, with Ellum notably absent from the large group of people invited. But this could have been seen as similar to her comments on Amber Heard, where she's now shifted her views now that the tide has turned, conveniently. You can also see a pattern with Nina and Ellum where she did not act upon any of these issues when she needed to, mainly because they were her friends. However, when Pokimane is exposed to supposed bad behavior, as what she would label as bad behavior, from people who are not her friends, she seems more than happy to get involved. Here's a very revealing story that she told to her audience in November.
I've had a bad week with men. Can I tell you about it? I have to whisper because there's people in my living room. For starters, let's talk about the guy that was trying to meet up with me who ended up being engaged. Right. Basically, we met on set for a YouTube video. We followed each other on IG. He'd respond to my IG stories. I would respond to his, very casual stuff. He kept inviting me to fly out to his state, but I don't do that. So I was like, if you're ever in LA, we can grab coffee. He ended up having a trip to LA. He asked for my number. We were gonna meet up, but I ended up being busy. He ended up leaving town early, so it didn't happen. We kept talking about like what we like to do for fun, places we've traveled, blah blah blah. And then, no joke, a month after we were gonna meet up, he posts his engagement on Instagram. Engagement. Mind you, he was still responding to my stories. Example, I posted a story, what kind of nails should I get done? He responded to that and goes, put my face on your nails. Right. And people told me was like, maybe this is kosher in your relationship, but I just wanted to let you know. I unfollow him at the same time that I message her. He keeps responding to my IG stories. So he hasn't even clocked that I unfollowed him. It's been 3 days and she hasn't answered. Started stressing me out so much, I was getting prepared to send her a note via pigeon carrier. I don't know. And then she responded and she was like, yeah, this is not kosher in our relationship. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I also don't want to misrepresent the situation. So I send her all of our DMs. I send her all of our text messages. I also follow up and I'm like, I'm sorry if any of this was flirty because I thought we were going to grab coffee. I thought he was single. She was like, no, you're all good, said, which was so sweet. He gave you no indication that he was in a relationship, so I really don't blame you. I said, love you. And I was like, hey, are you okay? If you need anything, I'm here. I know we don't know each other, but here for you, girl. She might have lost her fiance, but maybe she'll make a good friend instead. I don't know if they've talked about it. We will see.
So here we have an example of Pokimane being highly proactive in something she didn't need to get involved in. The big difference here is that none of her friends were involved, and she had nothing to lose. Added to that, it also made great content for her stream, and allowed her to paint herself as a girl's girl. Captain Puffy sadly didn't receive this level of sisterhood as this random woman did. In December, when her friend Hassan drew controversy for using a shock collar on his dog, Pokimane was noticeably silent too. As well as the shock collar clip, there was another clip where Hassan was grabbing his dog by the tail.
Come here. Hey. Come here. Stay. No, come here.
And someone tried to play this clip on Pokimane's stream.
Come here. Hey.
Mods. Do I have mods?
So it looks as if Pokimane's not sticking to any rigid principles, but merely doing and saying what she believes her audience wants. Sometimes not even what they ask for. She's not the first ever streamer to, be beholden to her audience, but she seems to be more proactive when there's zero downside to it and only upside. And when those same morals are tested amongst her friends or people she's close with, she seems to be silent on the issue. But if there is a cause or issue that she really believes in, then she should live by it, irrespective of what her audience may think or if it benefits or harms her.